Hi. Today, we will discuss coping skills. Coping skills are tools to deal with stress, adversity, and challenging emotions. Another way to think of coping skills is to see them as behaviors that someone uses to manage stress or tense situations. Coping skills can be adaptive or maladaptive. For the purposes of this video, we will use the simple terms, effective and ineffective, to describe coping skills. A person can develop coping skills in a variety of ways. Oftentimes, coping skills are learned behaviors that have developed over time. Through personal experiences, through observations, and through guidance from others. People tend to develop coping skills at very young ages. Subconsciously. During times of struggle. And during times of vulnerability. Therefore, it is a good idea for each of us to routinely evaluate the effectiveness of our main coping skills. Perhaps, a reasonable litmus test to determine the effectiveness of a coping skill is to ask yourself, does this coping skill improve my quality of life? Let's take a minute to review the following example. Think of a teenager, Mandy, who often feels nervous and worried. Mandy shares her struggles with a teenage friend. Mandy's friend suggests that Mandy copes with the nervousness and worry by using She tells Mandy to use a little bit of a popular drug or alcohol. The friend reassures Mandy that she will feel less nervous and more relaxed after using the drugs or alcohol. In this case, though using a little bit of drugs and alcohol might relieve some of Mandy's nervousness and worry. Using drugs or alcohol is an ineffective coping skill, because doing so won't likely improve Mandy's quality of life. And at some point, Mandy may evaluate to determine if using drugs and alcohol to alleviate nervousness is the best coping skill available to her. There are many coping skills that someone like Mandy could choose. Coping skills should be individualized. This is because what works as an effective coping skill for one person might be an ineffective coping skill for another person. Identifying the best coping skills requires introspection and practice. That means, Mandy would have to do some self-discovery and explore a variety of coping skills. And, Mandy would also have to find instances to practice implementing any newly found coping skills. Ultimately, Mandy would probably want to choose coping skills that best fit her needs, personality, preferences, and lifestyle. Recall earlier when we said to think of coping skills as tools. Well, your goal would be to gather as many tools as possible, and then add those tools to your toolbox. It is important to have a variety of coping skills. Because, just as you would need different tools for different issues, you will need different coping skills to fix different problems. Remember, developing a set of effective coping skills takes time and practice. Be patient and gentle with yourself as you learn new ways to cope with life stressors and tense situations. Seeking professional help like counseling might also be beneficial in identifying and implementing new coping skills. You may feel like coping skills cannot alleviate all of your problems in life. But it is better to have coping skills and not need them than to need coping skills and not have them. It is almost certain that ineffective coping skills won't alleviate your problems, at least not long term, and may add to your problems. But if ever in doubt, it is always better to have coping skills. They just need to be effective ones. Some benefits of effective coping skills include stress reduction, enhanced resilience, support for long-term sobriety, and long-term physical and mental wellness. Well, that's it. We have reached the end of this video. If it was useful, please share, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.